Thank you for listening to another episode of TeeVo and the Beard. This episode has been brought to you in part by social support from Mark Gunn. Find out more about the Celt Father at markgunn.com and look him up on iTunes under Irish and Celtic Music Podcast. It's also been brought to you by support from Blame Your Brother Podcast. You can find out more about them at bybpod.com. And also, of course, we'd like to thank all of our lovely listeners. Thank you and enjoy the show. Welcome to a very 80s episode of TeeVo and the Beard.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you just got that?
I did.
Okay.
We prepared stuff to talk about, and I thought you just randomly picked stuff.
Oh, no, but you can still say your part.
Oh, well, I'm TeeVo, and that's the Beard.
And you can't see us.
Yep. Oh.
So today we're going to talk about Glow and our thoughts about it, the newest Netflix original series. But
Not Netflix. Oh, I thought you were talking about the other thing we're talking about.
No, I'm talking about Glow first.
Glow is Netflix.
because Glow is the main thing we're going to talk about.
When you said "and," I thought Glow, pause, and.
Oh. Now,
separate and.
No, but of course we're going to start with some other stuff first. The first thing is the more nerdy news.
Yes.
Squirrel Girl.
This is the and.
Yeah. Squirrel Girl is getting a show.
Yes.
And it is cast, so it is actually going to happen.
Yes, it's on Freeform.
Right.
So for anybody that doesn't know Freeform, it's your, and I don't mean this in a derogatory manner, but it's your tween audience.
Yeah.
So, and it's good. I've said I like how the umbrella of Netflix, or not Netflix, of Marvel Entertainment,
Yeah.
With Netflix, ABC, the major motion pictures,
Right.
Hulu soon to be, if, whenever that gets made.
Yeah.
And now Freeform, they're catering to different audiences.
Yeah, they're covering all their bases.
Still, giving, different things to different people.
Mm-hmm.
You can watch this. You don't have to watch this.
Right.
Or you can watch it all, and
Yeah.
you're going to appeal to different senses. So I like that they're doing that.
Yeah.
I just hope nobody's going to go, hey, if you like The Punisher coming out, you need to watch.
You're going to love New Warrior.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't have too much to say about it because other than Squirrel Girl and Speedball, I'm not familiar with most of the characters.
Yeah.
Nor am I familiar with the actors.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I only know Squirrel Girl because she was on the AT&T
commercial.
But I like her in it.
Yeah. No, she's also a comedian, and what I know her best from is a Yahoo original series that is called Open Space or something along those lines. It's set in space. It's not
that one.
Yeah, it's not a great show, but she's very funny.
She comes in. She has bit parts because she had a 2-episode deal on Silicon Valley.
Okay,
I enjoyed her in that.
Yeah,
did not recognize her as the AT&T girl.
Yeah,
but hey. But everybody needs to start.
It's funny, though, when that was announced, because for the longest time I've been trying to think of who would I cast as Squirrel Girl, because I've always liked her as a character.
Marvel has definitely done a number with casting. Sometimes it's so obvious, and sometimes they're giving people a chance.
Yeah.
And that's really cool.
I think this one kind of fits in both categories, because once I saw it announced, I was like, that's exactly who I would pick for Squirrel Girl.
Everybody else, I'm curious to see.
Yeah.
And what's it going to be a lot lighthearted because if you, I showed you the Cloak and Dagger one.
Right.
And, same thing.
Mm-hmm.
A little darker, but it's appealing to a particular audience.
Right, yeah.
This one, from what they say, is going to be very comic.
I would hope so. And I'm hoping it's in a half-hour format, not in
I think so.
Yeah.
Of course, we'll see when it comes out.
Right, yeah.
And whenever I say I see, I hope, Hulu will get on the streaming on that.
Yeah.
So I do not have access to Freeform.
No.
And the only show I do watch on Freeform, I watch it via Netflix.
Yeah.
So, but I don't feel like I want to wait to the whole season. Sorry,
right.
Zombie.
Yeah. Yeah, no. I'm looking forward to this. I'm a fan of Squirrel Girl comics. I don't know a lot, basically any of the other characters that well.
The only one I know is Speedball, and the only reason because of that was I know what happens to him later, which is something I hope they don't touch upon. Mm-hmm. He becomes a very sad character.
Oh, okay.
Not the happy artwork one you saw in the poster. He becomes a very sad one.
Okay.
I mean, they can
And there's no telling with Freeform, because Freeform does have a range of shows.
That's true.
So
that's true. They may be happy-go-lucky, but there are some serious things that happen.
Right. Yeah.
So, you know.
But very rarely does a comedy work if it's over half an hour. So I'm hoping they keep it straight 30 minutes.
And well, let's face it, it's cheaper to do it that way.
It is. Yeah. Yeah.
And then, you know, you have money to spend on good stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, I don't know. I just said general umbrella stuff, but
yeah.
Other than that.
And it's owned by ABC, so they have the money.
That's true.
Yeah. So to kind of get into our 80s feel,
yes.
One of our icebreakers I wanted to talk about today, and this one I don't know if we're going to agree or disagree because we haven't really discussed this before.
Yes.
But Ninja Turtles was something I grew up watching,
here.
Both the cartoon and the movies.
Same here. Not the new ones.
Not the new ones, no.
And well, as we said a year ago, that's okay.
Yeah. No, it either counts or doesn't count, but for this conversation, it definitely doesn't count, because I'm mostly thinking of the animated series.
Yes.
And maybe a little bit into the movies, but I wanted to figure out, and these are both of our icebreakers. Yes. Once I post this on Monday, I'm gonna do a poll on Twitter.
Okay.
So if you're listening to this now, there should be a poll up there, so you can kind of give your input also, audience. But we want to find out who the best Ninja Turtle is.
All right, how about this?
Okay.
1, 2, 3, say your favorite.
Okay.
As in, like, 1, 2, 3, say your...
Yeah.
Not 1, 2, say it. 1,
okay.
2, 3.
Okay.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
Donatello.
What? What?
Done. Finished.
No one has ever agreed with me.
He was that was the one I always aspired to growing up watching it.
Dear listeners, we did not plan that.
No.
I had no idea before this.
No, the only thing we talked about with this was me asking you, how about we talk about Ninja Turtles?
Yes.
That was it.
No one has ever agreed with me on Donatello.
Yeah, no.
That's nothing against the other ones.
Right.
It almost, in a sense, I'd love them all equally.
Mm-hmm.
But if I had
to pick, yeah.
Okay. I guess Donatello will always have like 1 point above the rest.
Right, yeah.
But if I really had to, Donatello is the one.
Yeah. Man, I don't even know how to debate this now. I was not expecting that.
I don't know. I shouldn't be surprised you're a Donatello person, though.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be surprised.
I'm kind of surprised I thought you were going to say Raphael.
You know what? Raphael has been... Again, if I had to rank them consistently in my life, Raphael's been the least. If I had
My least also.
If I had to. Not that I don't love him. I mean, I have an apron of Raphael. You know, a turtle's apron?
Yeah.
And the only reason I have that is because it's the only one they had left.
Right.
But if I had to...
Yeah.
If I had to... when I was a kid, however, Leonardo was mine.
Okay.
So I will say the top ranked one has shifted in my life.
Now, for me, it goes Donatello, Leonardo, Michelangelo, Raphael.
Let's see. When I was a kid...
For now, at least, yeah.
Donatello's been there for a while, so I don't think that's going to change anytime. But when I was a kid, when I first started watching Turtles, I mean, Leonardo and 2 swords.
Right.
Come on.
Even though in the cartoon they never use their weapons on people.
They use it on stuff.
On stuff, yeah.
But, you know, the 2 swords, come on. That's just cool. And the iconic, like, cross in the back.
Yeah.
That's just something. And then you see it in the movies. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Michelangelo's my second favorite.
That was always my brother's favorite.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And then Donatello, then Raphael.
Okay.
And then later on, when I stopped being a wee lad to just a wee lad, Michelangelo usurped. And so it switched between Michelangelo and Leonardo. And as I got older, I thought, well, realistically, if I were to actually become a Ninja Turtle, I don't think I can use 2 swords. Maybe 1, but not 2. I'm definitely not using nunchucks.
No, I would kill myself.
The bow staff is... I'm not, degrading people who learn to use bow staff, but if I, right now, were to pick a weapon that I probably can knock someone out with, it's probably going to be the bow staff.
Well, growing up with a younger brother, we would play Ninja Turtles, and the bow staff was always the easiest thing to make, because you get a broom handle, you get an umbrella, you get just this long stick, basically.
There are photos of me as a child. As I said, I was Leonardo kid, so I would get 2 toy swords and put them in my shirt.
Right, yeah.
But that's a cool look.
Yeah.
But I will say right now, and it's been like that, say, 14 years? Donatello's been the guy.
Yeah. So I guess that one's solved. I mean, I'll put the poll on Twitter to find out, if our audience is wrong.
I will say that that's a minority. I feel
it is, yeah, because a lot of people pick Leonardo. Very few people pick Raphael as their favorite. It seems.
I know Raphael.
Yeah. But there tends to be mostly Michelangelo, Leonardo fans.
And good choices.
Yeah.
We were not saying those bad choices.
No, there's really not a bad turtle to pick.
No. Well, maybe the bad ones.
Well, yeah.
The bad guy ones.
Yeah.
But, whatever.
Or like in that live-action show they tried to do with the girl turtle.
Venus,
yeah. That's a bad choice.
That's a bad choice.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I just always thought that the turtles were turtles. That's really the best part about turtles. They're all great.
Yeah.
But if you had to... Mm-hmm. I think that's where it gets interesting, if you had to.
Yeah.
Because I don't know anybody that just doesn't like one turtle.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, we watch it, whether you're watching the old TV show, the new stuff, whatever, you're watching it for all four turtles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't speak for the new movies, but, I'm sure, I like to think it's the same deal.
Right, yeah. And being that we're talking about all the Americanized stuff, they all have different color masks, all very easy to... Not everybody's in a red mask.
Yes.
So it's very easy to figure out which one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Did you ever see the Power Rangers in Space episode where the turtles cross over?
No.
You should look that up.
Sounds awesome, though.
You know what? For a one-off,
I
will say, unfortunately, you're going to have to watch Venus in it.
Oh, okay.
They use the turtle Next Generation.
Yeah.
But, I mean, for novelty, if you'd like to check it out, Netflix. Okay. Power Rangers in Space. I'm pretty sure you'll be able to tell which episode had the turtles.
Yeah. I'm sure the thumbnail will give it away there.
I'm so sure.
Yeah.
Wow, that was... how about that?
That was a surprisingly easy one there.
All right, well...
Now, our older debate, the first thing you and I ever debated and could not change each other's mind on, and that's not saying that's a goal for this conversation, is...
But our listeners don't know it.
Right. The best thing to come out of the old band Genesis.
Yes.
Phil Collins versus Peter Gabriel.
Now, we here on TeeVo and the Beard have always advocate know your stuff before you argue.
Right.
I'm going to break that rule.
Oh, well, I have the entire life of Peter Gabriel in front of me here, and you're going to break the rule?
I'm going to break the rule because I do not know a lot of Peter Gabriel.
Okay.
So... No, I don't have a fair comparison.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say, hands down, me personally, I will always pick Phil Collins.
Okay.
Just putting it out there.
Okay.
Just putting it out there.
Well, we can start with some of the stuff that, like, what about, one thing I'll say for the, and this, we're mostly making our arguments so that our Twitter followers can decide their vote based on our arguments here. We're not trying to convince one another of one or the other thing. So, the first good mark for Peter Gabriel, founding member of Genesis.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Phil Collins didn't come in until later.
Not.
Yeah.
However, when everybody thinks of Genesis, who do they go to?
Okay, Phil Collins does have the name.
If you say Tony Banks or Mark Rutherford, or Mike Rutherford, I know, I generally know their names.
Yeah.
But Phil Collins is the face.
Now, what do you know about Phil Collins' album success?
Within Genesis or after Genesis?
Well, let's go with Genesis. I mean, without Genesis. The solo stuff. Because there was some crossover with Genesis between the two of them.
You mean how, you want me to speak like a designated expert, or just,
Well, like with
my personal thoughts.
Peter Gabriel, we have 4 gold albums, 1 platinum, and 1 5-time platinum album.
See, I thought we were just going to speak from our hearts here.
Oh, we're going to get there too, but...
I did not come with, factual research.
I know that Peter Gabriel is lesser known than Phil Collins, so I figured I needed a stronger foundation.
So this is really for our listeners.
Yeah.
Because we don't know how many people know... I'm not even sure how much they're going to know Phil Collins, let alone Peter Gabriel.
Yeah. But Phil Collins is known for his drums. So.
Yes. I think, Phil Collins definitely has it in pop culture. You may not know his name, you may not know what he looks like, but you know a Phil Collins song somewhere in your life.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And I'm not arguing for Peter Gabriel to be against Phil Collins.
The only thing Peter Gabriel has that in that tier for me, Sledgehammer.
Right.
You heard of Sledgehammer.
But the thing about Peter Gabriel that really draws me more towards him than Phil Collins is the artistic mastery that he has, both within his songs and music videos. Phil Collins can't compete with that.
You know,
a lot of Phil Collins videos are just, you see him singing.
True. You know, that there is you're not the first person who's ever said that to me.
Yeah.
You're not the first. So, this is not an anti-Peter Gabriel thing, but just...
Yeah.
If you listen to the Phil Collins songs, just pertaining, within Genesis. Mm-hmm. We're not talking about his solo stuff.
Right.
They're so good. Mm. If Invisible Touch, it's catchy. Yeah. It's got a beat to it, and the drums. I mean, that first...
Well, yeah, nobody would disagree with you about Phil Collins and the drums there.
No Son of Mine, Misunderstanding, Abacab. Yeah, I'm pulling it out.
Oh, yeah, no. It's
So, to me, it just... While I acknowledge Peter Gabriel has, more acute sense in the art than maybe Phil Collins, but aesthetically for the ears.
Okay.
Phil Collins, smooth.
Now, see, to kind of go with that, I also feel like Peter Gabriel has more to say with his songs. Like, he is putting more of a message out there. Now, some of it does come off metaphorically and more philosophical than Phil Collins. Mm-hmm. And Phil Collins is great at telling a story.
Yes.
But to this day, I have no clue who Studio is.
I thought, well, okay, that's true. But there was a girl on his mind. You know that.
I do know there was a girl on his mind.
You may not know her name.
Right.
But she doesn't know his name, Studio.
But because of his smooth sound, Phil Collins could never be anybody's Sledgehammer. He couldn't even be like a rubber mallet to somebody.
No.
Yeah.
Oh. Gonna say... Maybe I'll give you Peter Gabriel that more.
Yeah.
But Land of Confusion speaks a lot.
Yeah, okay.
And I recently heard it, maybe a month ago on a road trip back home.
Yeah.
It speaks a lot more these days.
Yeah.
Land of Confusion, you know.
That's true, yeah. No,
so, don't always count out Phil Collins as like the love song guy. He's got stuff to say. But, I'll say, without knowing too much, I can't say Peter Gabriel's more.
Right.
But he does give me that air of more.
Right, yeah.
I don't know from my heart.
Yeah, we're definitely not against either one of these. I would say I'm not against Phil Collins by any means. I do think he does great stuff. I just, if I was given 2 concert tickets,
this is not like a Ninja Troll thing for me.
No. It's
not like if I had to. No, it's a dominant Phil Collins landslide victory for me.
Yeah, but you're not against Peter Gabriel as an artist. Yeah.
No.
But yeah, if I was given 2 concert tickets, one to Peter Gabriel, one to Phil Collins, I'm going to take the Peter Gabriel one without even asking where the seats are. And that goes along with the artistry too. I mean, he's known for I don't know if he does it as much anymore, but back in the day, costumes, the whole...
Yeah.
It was a theatrical
Phil Collins
experience.
has an Oscar.
Well,
he wrote songs for Disney. So.
That's true. And Peter Gabriel only has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Grammys. 1, 2, 3, 3 Ivor Awards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 MTV Video Music Awards.
Back when those actually meant something.
Yeah, no, back when MTV showed music videos. And a lot of that
But we're on a tangent. Have you seen the award shows of MTV lately? Just by nomination?
I've not seen anything from MTV lately.
It's almost to the point it's like, why even bother?
Yeah. Yeah, no, when I even look at a promo for anything from MTV, I feel 90 years old.
Yes.
It's whatever it is anymore, I'm not with it. And I don't want to be, because it is scary nowadays.
Back when you say, hey, I want an MTV Movie Award. Hey, I want an MTV Video Music Award.
Yeah.
Wow, cool.
That meant something, yeah.
Now it's like, oh, well.
Yeah, so did Nicki Minaj, so what?
A lot.
Yeah. But yeah, most of these that he won was for Sledgehammer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And hey,
and rightly so.
That's the thing. Sledgehammer is the one that's going to live in general pop culture.
Yeah, and if you, to our listeners, if you've not seen this video, it's everywhere on YouTube.
Yes.
Google it, you will find it. And yeah, that one video though will surpass any Phil Collins video you watch. I know. Are you trying to think of one?
Yeah, I got a few
that will surpass Sledgehammer.
Yeah, In the Air Tonight, man.
Not the song though, just the video. If you watch the video on mute, you think In the Air Tonight would be more powerful than Sledgehammer?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I will have to challenge you on
just
that one.
When you go close up on his face, even on mute, just a
yeah. This is why we need it to be a video podcast right there, just to get what you did.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but this is going to be up to our listeners to determine which one of us is right.
We'll gladly give the message to both Peter and Phil when it's done.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you won't change our minds. And Peter Gabriel, for the record, even though it might count to some of our listeners, but not most, Peter Gabriel has kept the better facial hair. When Phil Collins does a beard, it's all right. But, I mean, Peter Gabriel can rock a goatee like most others can't.
I don't even really have a command of what Peter Gabriel looks like right now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be honest, I don't know at this exact moment, but I know from his Wikipedia page that he had a goatee.
Well, I know what Phil Collins always looks like.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is it because you're stalking his daughter?
That too.
Yeah.
But, they don't post a lot. They only really post when it's like Father's Day or his birthday or something.
Right.
So,
And you figure if you get close enough, he will write a song about you?
Maybe.
Yeah.
But, I will say, I don't know about Peter Gabriel's gene pool, but, Phil Collins has some talented children.
Yeah. So, if that helps sway any of the votes, there you go.
If you ever listen to Simon Collins, he might actually be a little straying towards the artistic side of Peter Gabriel.
Okay.
His sound, he's been in a couple bands, and he's got kind of a new age, sound with a mix with, what Genesis was, but pre-Phil Collins, I think.
Okay.
Not like an identical. Right, yeah. If you listen to...
Not trying to copy it.
Yeah, not trying to copy it. Yeah. Not if you listen to it at first hearing, you're going to be like, oh my goodness, but it's kind of a little bit. So.
Okay, well, I admit I've not heard his stuff, but I would definitely check it out.
I haven't heard his recent stuff because I don't think he plays as famously as his father does.
Right.
But, he's got some songs out there.
Okay.
Obviously, I'm a fan of Lily Collins. Great actress. I just want her to get that one big role, though.
Right. The one that shoots her through the atmosphere.
Yeah. And he has a couple younger sons. One actually plays with him on tour. Phil Collins suffers from, joint problems. Yeah. So he doesn't play as well. Right. Actually, he doesn't play at all now. Right. He sings. And his youngest son, I want to say his name's Nick. He plays the drums primarily, especially for In the Air Night. Okay. And, hey, he's got his dad's genes. Yeah. So, hopefully that blossoms to a musical career just because, well, I don't know why. I guess in a get to know your podcaster tidbit, I love second-gen celebrities. Okay. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I love your mother, father, grandfather. Yeah. So I like that there's a piece of them that I can still latch onto.
So do we need to reform the Beatles with their children, is what you're saying? Of course, Ringo Starr's still going to find his way to the drum set. I think he would just put on a wig and pretend to be a 20-something-year-old, 30-something-year-old.
I think that to reform the Beatles, no.
Yeah.
That would be your own person, yes. Okay. That's why, I like Lily. She's not a musician, but she is something I can gravitate towards. Yeah. Michael Jackson has Paris Jackson right now. She's a budding actress. Again, not the musical legend your father was, but I can still grasp onto you. And there are plenty of people like that. Scott Eastwood, Clint Eastwood. Yeah.
All the bridges.
Exactly. Colin Hanks, Tom Hanks.
Right.
Especially with Colin Hanks, you think, oh, you're the son of Tom Hanks, you're going to be the next legendary actor. Yeah. And not to say he's not, but he's just has a different path than his father.
Yeah. Do you ever find yourself, I know this is kind of going on a different thing than the Gabriel Collins thing.
That's almost kind of done now. I think we said our pieces.
Do you ever find yourself unfairly comparing them to their parents there?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Absolutely. Especially when the work isn't good.
Okay.
And I'll tell you a personal story about that.
Yes.
So my favorite film director of all time is Martin Scorsese.
Okay.
Love everything he does. I think he just has a great vision.
Mm-hmm. I've got a confession about Scorsese.
You don't like him?
I don't like him, but I think all of his films are very well done.
Yes.
I don't like a single one of his films, but I can understand why they get the praise that they do.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I had the fortune of meeting his daughter
in
real life. She came to our fair city for a rinky-dink film festival.
Right, yeah.
Not the official one we have here.
Right.
Some one that I don't know if they're going to try to do again because they need to get a whole new venue because it seemed like an utter disaster.
Oh, wow.
But she did direct a movie with Paul Sorvino's son.
Okay.
Paul Sorvino's son also was in it. And I'm thinking, okay, well, both your dads made Goodfellas.
Right.
And, well, you got the genes.
Yeah.
And I went because, I saw that there was a film, and I recognized the name. I'm like, whoa, I gotta check this out.
Yeah.
I might never meet Martin Scorsese, but I can get...
You can meet his DNA.
Exactly. And I did. And I lied to her.
Oh.
Because I met her after I saw the film.
Yeah.
And if you're listening, I'm so sorry. But the film, and you know what, maybe it's their first, really project.
Yeah.
Wasn't written by her. The guy who wrote it also starred in it.
Oh.
And I neither believed his writing or his acting.
Wow.
The movie just didn't have any flair to me at all. Not saying that she has to be her dad.
Right, yeah.
But, I did expect some form of, identifying artistry. There was none of that. It was almost, okay, well, the camera needs to be here because we need to get the dialogue. Okay, well, that's where we'll put the camera. Kind of like
so it's like a, art school indie film sort of thing?
Yeah. And, well, I didn't want to hurt her feelings at the time.
Right.
So I said, hey, it was a great job. I did have questions about who she came from.
Yeah.
But overall, I was like, hey, yeah.
Yeah, that was definitely a movie.
Yeah. So, but would I have judged it that harshly if her father wasn't Martin Scorsese?
If she would have been John Smith's daughter.
Exactly. Or she just been, hey, I made this movie. Well, hey, if she was just a random person, I wouldn't have been there.
Right, yeah.
Let's just get that out of the way.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I definitely kept judging in the whole time I sat there for 93 minutes. Which felt longer.
Yeah.
When it's bad, it feels long.
Oh, definitely.
But I definitely kept judging because of, I knew your dad was Martin Scorsese.
Yeah, so you're like, something good has to come out of this.
I thought so. The only thing good that I met Martin Scorsese's DNA.
Right, yeah.
So...
Now, did she go by Scorsese, or?
Yeah, she has a couple last names, I think. Can't remember, but I think for, obviously, recognition.
Yeah. Because you do have some actors and stuff that have famous relatives or, uncle or mom or dad or whatever, and they don't go by the, like Nicolas Cage.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's got a big family.
Oh, yeah. But he tries to be his own person with...
This could be a whole different thing. So we're going to table this.
Yeah.
For the same episode, for maybe a part 2 of, celebrity crushes, when we further dive into complete... edition of Celebrity Crushes.
Celebrity family crushes. Celebrity family you want to be a part of.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we'll table this right now.
Yeah.
For next season.
Yes.
Because as our listeners may or may not know, this is going to be the finale of season 2.
Yes, we try to do about 25 episodes with a couple extra things here and there. But 25 full episodes for each season, and this is number 25, which makes it number 57, I think, total. So, and I don't know if we mentioned this earlier this month, but we've been doing this a year now.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if you just mentioned it to me.
I think I may have mentioned it to you, but not on the show. But yeah, we started this on July 4th of last year, and so
how about that?
Happy anniversary.
Yay.
And we're going to take a little break here and come back talking about Glow. And there will be spoilers. Not that there's a ton to
Not
to spoil. But depending on if you like spoilers or not, you may want to go watch it on Netflix first and then come back and listen to this. But either way, you definitely want to watch it.
Excuse me, spoiler alert!
And we're back.
I loved Glow.
I loved Glow also. So when I first heard about Glow, it was because of some of the actors in it. They had tweeted about it and everything, and it was going to be about the gorgeous ladies of wrestling. And I was like, okay, I really don't care about the topic, but I like most of the cast, so I'm going to check it out.
You're being very... Actually, you know what? I will say... For pretty much the predominant leading up to the show, I was really only looking forward to seeing Alison Brie.
Yeah.
I don't know much about Mark Maron. I've only watched him in one thing.
Yeah.
Not the Mark Maron show.
Right.
I didn't know virtually anybody, and it wasn't until later on that I saw Ellen Wong was in it.
Yeah.
And I know her from Scott Pilgrim and the Carrie Diaries.
Yeah.
But really... It was Alison Brie or nothing.
Yeah. I mean, she was the main reason I wanted to see it. And the Friday night that I watched it, I intended on watching one episode and then coming back to the rest later. 10 episodes later, that same night...
That is what surprised me. People, if you don't want to get entrenched in a long show, well, don't worry.
Yeah. It's 10, not even... They're not... I don't think a single one of them... gets to the full 30 minutes, especially once you take the credits out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't worry. You're surprisingly going to run through this so fast. And I so did.
Yeah, and this is the first thing on Netflix that I binged all in one sitting, and the first thing I've watched multiple times on Netflix. But the great thing about the way it is, since I've seen it both ways now, binged and within a couple of days, it works both ways. Because it binges almost like a movie. I mean, the way the plot goes and all that, and there's no recap in between episodes and everything. So,
I can roll with that.
Yeah, you can just watch it straight through.
I really like it because, like you said, Alison Brie was the reason.
Yeah.
I had no idea the Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling was a thing.
Yeah.
I grew up in kind of like the 90s wrestling fad, and I was, at best, the most casual fan.
Right.
Only because I had friends who were so into it.
Yeah.
That I picked up a few names and, maybe watched a couple, WrestleManias with them.
Yeah, just within pop culture, I mean, like Hulk Hogan and stuff like that.
Macho Man, Goldberg.
Well, if you've ever seen a Slim Jim commercial, you know Macho Man.
Slim Jim!
Yeah.
But, so it wasn't I was completely mute to it all.
Right.
But I was definitely not into the Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling.
Right, yeah.
When I was told it was a real thing, I said... Wait, what?
That's how Mrs. the Beard was. I was telling her about it, and I was like, no, this is based,
the characters
this is fictionalized.
The characters in this show, the Netflix show, are fake.
Right, but they're based on real characters, real wrestlers.
We have no idea they've been through these things.
Right.
But whatever. So, yeah, it wasn't that I was... And I'm not even into wrestling that much.
Yeah.
I'm a big Dwayne Johnson fan, but I'm attracted to the personality of him.
Right, yeah.
And it stemmed from his wrestling days, but I wasn't watching wrestling every Monday for him. It's like, okay, well, I'm a fan of you, but I'm not watching it.
Yeah, it's like you watch the acting part before the fighting starts.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So, it was so much Alison Brie.
It was,
and I'm sorry, female listeners, but...
Yeah. Misogyny alert.
The first episode really did a number on me.
Well, Netflix, the great thing about Netflix is even though it does still fall under FCC rules and regulations, but it is less censored than any, network or cable channel.
There are parts of Alison Brie that I've only dreamed of seeing.
Yeah, and now you've seen them.
And now I've seen it. And thankfully it's in the first episode.
And they don't even make a big deal about it.
No.
It's again, like I said, we're going to go into spoiler stuff. It's a sex scene.
Yeah.
But it's not romantic.
Nope.
It's not, softcore porn or anything like that. It's very realistic. It is what it is.
Yeah. And
they're like, we're going to get this out of the way so that we can get the storyline.
Yeah.
The story going.
And story going. And all right, you saw it.
Yeah.
Now watch the show.
And then the act that she commits in the first episode affects other episodes.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, so it's not just for itself.
It's not gratuitous. It actually is it's a really big deal.
It is, yeah.
really.
And at first it doesn't seem it when they're first going about it. It's like, oh, well, okay, that's...
Well, first you didn't know exactly who he was.
Right, yeah. It's like, it turns out it's a friend's husband. And
even her best friend's
best friend's husband. And at first it's kept a nice secret and all that, and then she finds out, and that helps the best friend become a wrestler.
Yes, and at the end of it all, you think, oh, happy ending, you know, they found each other in wrestling, they found themselves.
Right.
No. Well, maybe, you know, not there, but I like that it wasn't a nice bow on it at the end.
Yeah, because she's even like, so are we good? No.
Not yet.
No, not yet. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
But to speak on Mark Maron a little bit, because I am familiar with a lot of his work, his podcast, his TV show, stand-up things. I didn't expect him to look and be like Mark Maron in this show, which he is.
Yes.
And that's a great thing. His hair always looks like that. His mustache, his clothes always look like that. I'm not even sure they gave him any lines. I think this was just all Mark Maron, and I think it worked perfect.
The only thing I've ever seen Mark Maron in was another Netflix show.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably a segue into getting this show.
Yeah.
But it's a show called Easy.
Okay.
I don't know the theme of the show because they're it's an anthology series, so each episode kind of connects, but they're really its own story.
Okay.
I think it's supposed to be about love and sex, but one episode's about beer, 2 episodes are whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure.
If you're interested, go check it out.
It's not a bad show.
Yeah.
It's just some of it's like, well, you're being kind of gratuitous.
Yeah. It's like Glow. We know what Glow's about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This one, I'm not really sure.
Mm-hmm.
But nonetheless, Mark Maron was an episode with Emily Ratajkowski, another person I so very much enjoy.
Yeah.
And it was also an unbelievable episode.
Can she actually act? I've not seen that, so...
Well, if you want to watch that episode...
Well, I mean, just based on the cast, I want to watch it.
Emily Ratajkowski and Mark Maron, and they are an item in the episode.
Okay.
So, and...
He always tends to get attractive females, and...
Oh, he got the cream of the crop in that one.
Yeah.
But...
I don't blame him. I mean, if I'm able to pick, my...
Or if they just want to stick me with them, I'd be like, hey, whatever. But, that's the only thing I really had to judge him on.
Yeah.
And... Yeah, I also don't think you're meant to like his character in that episode.
Yeah.
So
that's a lot of what he plays too.
So I didn't know what to expect in this one, and I like that he played that, but there was something to like about him.
Yeah, he's a lovable jerk.
Yeah.
It's like you want him to succeed, but at the same time you don't want it to be too easy because he doesn't deserve it to be easy.
And the scene, gonna get into, dark stuff, but when Alison Brie needs an abortion, Mark Maron was there for her.
Yeah. Well, that's something I liked about this show. They didn't hide anything. They didn't pull any punches, anything like that. They didn't come out and make things political.
Yeah.
Or come out, and just say, okay, we're doing this, and this is how everybody should believe and think and all that. It's like, no, they mention, they do abortion stuff. They have drugs, drinking, smoking. They talk about miscarriages, broken marriages and relationships.
Yeah.
All within a comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and don't worry, guys. It's funny.
Yeah. Yeah, now the stuff I just talked about, those parts really aren't that funny, but everything around that.
But what I really like, and not being a wrestling person, definitely not being a Glow person.
Right.
I like shows that give me good story and characters.
Yes.
And I said it before, particularly with iZombie, I don't care how long the journey is.
Yeah.
If it's a good journey, you can take me on as long as you want.
Yeah.
It's a bad journey, I'm going to say something.
Yeah, definitely.
And Glow was such a good journey.
It was, yeah.
And I am so devastated it's over already.
Yeah, because it's 10 episodes, and they start out with, I don't know how many girls were at the tryouts, 11 billion, let's say. Gets down to 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
you thought, okay, well, we're always going to follow Alison Brie.
Right.
She's the star.
Yeah.
And her friend, she seems to be getting a lot of, screen time, so clearly we're going to follow her.
And she's even called the star of Glow.
Yeah. And we're obviously going to follow Mark Maron. And we thought, okay, all the other ones will be in the background.
Yeah.
No. Yeah? Like, yeah-ish?
Yeah.
But they get some stuff.
It's like you have your primary characters and your primary and a half.
Yeah.
Because it's not even secondary.
Yeah. Like, secondary are the ones that have, like, one episode.
Right.
Like
the butler guy.
And the casting lady.
Yeah, the casting
lady.
They're
secondary, but everybody seems to have a really good bit of time to develop the characters. At the very least, we get to know them.
Right.
At the very least. Some we know more than others.
Right, yeah.
But we know them.
I mean, like Sheila the She-Wolf doesn't have a lot of screen time, but when she does, she is there.
Particularly her one episode. She did have one episode dedicated to her, and it's a good one.
It is.
Yeah, the girl who played Beirut and Fortune Cookie. We don't know too much about them, but we get some. Yeah. And the two girls that play the, the old lady.
The grannies, who also play KKK members.
Exactly. Yeah. We get them, and God bless this show, because Machu Picchu.
Yes.
She's such a likable character.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never seen her in anything before. I'm not sure of her real name. But yeah, I want to see her in more things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what I like. And sure, I was actually talking to another coworker about this yesterday. If you want me to watch a show, 9 times out of 10, I will watch it if I know somebody in it.
Exactly. Yeah.
If I don't,
if Alison Brie wasn't in this, we wouldn't be having this conversation, probably.
Yeah, maybe eventually.
I
probably would have hopped on it later, but if I know somebody in it, I will give it a chance. Yeah. Whether I like it from there on, still to be debated, but I'll give it a chance. But when it's someone I like in it, and it's surrounded by people I don't know, that casts the net wider. So now, say someone like Machu Picchu is going to be in a show. I'm going to be like, oh, well, I know her. And then, I get to know more people.
Yeah. No, I definitely can get that, because she's a character in the show.
I think she's a main character. I think she's credited within the main cast. So.
Because her character is a wrestling dynasty.
Yes.
Her father was a wrestler, her brothers quote-unquote real wrestlers, male wrestlers.
Yes.
And she has a great storyline because her dad wants her to be more feminine and not fight. Yeah. But the brothers, they're on her side. Yeah. And I like the brothers. They don't have much screen time. They definitely count as secondary.
So they're definitely secondary. Yeah. But it matters when they come.
It does, yeah.
It matters. I can't think of anybody that was there for nothing.
Yeah, there are no... I mean, if we had to pick, one small little set of extra characters, it's those little punk kids that steal Alison Brie's purse. Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
if I had to.
If I had to cut somebody out of the show, I could cut them out, and it doesn't really take anything away from... Because her life already sucked. Yeah. So we didn't need to suck anymore. Yeah.
But... I didn't expect Elizabeth Perkins in the show.
Right.
That was a nice surprise. I was like, hey, good to see you. Yeah. She's a secondary character, but still important to that particular episode and sort of the overall storyline. Yeah. So whoever made the show, I'm sorry if you actually are listening. Yeah. I'm sorry I don't know your names, but, rest assured, I will know them. Mm-hmm. If you make another show, it'll be on my radar.
Well, I know... Jinsey Cohen, the one who made Weeds and Orange is the New Black, was one of the producers.
It's probably how she got Elizabeth Perkins.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, besides that, though, I'm not... And I believe Alison Brie is one of the producers or executive producers.
And but nonetheless, there are shows out there that, well, it still helps that I know the stars of it. Yeah. But if I know, the writers and creators of it, that's a big help. Yeah,
but this is one of those to kind of go on both sides there. If Alison Brie and Mark Maron and these people would not have been in it, but it still would have had Orange is the New Black Woman's name, Jinsey's name on it, I would have been in your category of, I might watch it. I might get around to it, but I'm not going to make it my goal.
Yeah, when Glow was uploaded onto Netflix, it took me maybe a week or something to watch it, but, it was on my radar. Right. I was I plan to watch this. Mm-hmm. May not have time today, but, it's I need to watch this.
Yeah. And on my side, it was the moment you could put it on your list, I had it added on my list.
Same here. Yeah. It's just, whenever the actual viewing started, it was debatable, but but got there. Yeah. But, if did not have Alison Brie. At least for me, Alison Brie was it.
Yeah.
Didn't have that. It'd be like, yeah, we'll get around to it.
And the great thing I like about Alison Brie is she is a very diverse actress.
You wouldn't get that because, her resume is mostly comedy and a very particular comedy skill set. But don't underestimate her.
Yeah, when Mrs. the Beard was watching this, she's looking at it and she goes, "Who is that? She looks familiar." And I go, "Annie from Community." And she just stares at me and she goes, "No, it's not." I'm like, "No, it is. That is Alison Brie. That's who she is."
Yep.
And she goes, "Oh, you're right."
She actually is going to be in a serious Steven Spielberg film coming up.
Okay.
And it's not a comedy.
Yeah.
It's not a fun Steven Spielberg one. So shows that, she's got tricks up her sleeve.
I wonder if she's going to be like the young female version of Clark Gregg, though, where it's like we know you for your comedy, but you can do serious stuff and slip a little bit of comedy in there.
I'm trying to think of someone
else. Because there's not a lot of actresses that do that. It's mostly actors that have that kind of, or are given those kind of parts, which they discuss in Glow.
True.
Because she starts as an actress, and when she's in the line reading, she's reading the guy's part because this is the better one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a great first scene, by the way.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? You can believe her based on that, because that was not a funny audition she was going on. It's a very serious one.
Which really confused me starting the show, because I'm like, I thought this was supposed to be a comedy about wrestling. What is going on with big hair Alison Brie here?
Well, big hair Alison Brie stayed.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that wasn't...
I was happy with the big hair, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
No, this show, though, is a great example of the stuff we complain about with iZombie.
Yeah.
Because iZombie has great characters they don't give enough growth to or enough time to.
Yeah.
This one did.
Yes.
And
as diverse as this cast was, with as many people as it did, so it's easy for shows to get lost.
Yeah.
Because you obviously have your star. iZombie has Liv.
Right.
Liv is the star. No matter how much they give Robbie or Clive.
Yeah, she is iZombie.
Liv is your star.
Yeah.
Coulson is the star of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
We might have fan favorites like Quake, but Coulson is why the show exists.
Yes.
And when you have that, you may forget about people like Major or, Mac. That didn't happen in this show.
No.
Does it help because we were able to binge it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's part of the reason why I want to watch iZombie next year. I'll love this.
Yeah.
Maybe it won't be as noticeable. The lack of characters or, oversaturation of certain characters if I get to watch them in a row.
Yeah. I think that helped, and also it's set within a relatively short kind of time period.
That's true.
So you're not sitting there watching a year's worth of character growth.
It started at this time, and you knew their goal was to be eventually at this time.
Right. So,
and that's what they did.
It's a very well-written story. It has a beginning, middle, end, and it does make you care about each character. And you pick your favorites. Maybe you like Fortune Cookie. Maybe you like Alison Brie's character. Maybe you like Mark Maron.
Yeah.
But it doesn't take away from Sheila the She-Wolf or any of the other ones.
Yeah.
And forgive us for not remembering each wrestler's name there. But again, big cast.
But I'm thinking of you.
Yeah. No, of course, another big character in this movie, and I'm really wondering your opinions versus mine on this one, is the soundtrack. Because this is set in the 80s.
I will say, yeah.
Did it?
Yeah. Well, it definitely made things a lot more exciting.
Yeah.
When they played Separate Ways from Journey.
Yeah.
Best Journey song ever.
Yeah.
This might be a question for another Get to Know Your Podcaster / icebreaker, but Don't Stop Believing is the most overplayed thing ever.
Oh, yeah. No, I think we can answer that one right now.
Well, that wasn't the question.
Okay.
That was a setup, but, I'll set it up for another time.
Okay.
But it's to the point where I don't even want to hear it.
Yeah.
I know it. I know that song.
If we hated our listeners, we could just hit it right now and go through it.
I think more of the reason because it's overplayed, and Journey has. It's an iconic song.
Yeah.
But they got better ones.
Yeah, definitely.
Separate Ways. is a better song.
Well, that's the great thing that this show did. As someone who did grow up in the actual 80s,
yes,
there are so many songs that
slip under the cracks.
Right. And it's by artists you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like I was saying with Phil Collins earlier with Genesis, there are songs. Sure, as I said, he was known. He's the face of Genesis, but he's got some stuff. And, if you only have one scope, you don't listen to it all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but this one does a great job of taking. It does have some really well known quintessential 80s
like when
songs.
when they played "I Am the Warrior."
Yeah,
overplayed ish, not to a degree of "Don't Stop Believing."
But if you have a show about female wrestlers and you have a female singing about "I Am a Warrior," you kind of have to do that.
And you know what? It worked. And then during the climax of the show, when they played Pat Benatar, oh my god,
it worked. And I love the climax where they're showing the wrestling, and some of it is done in the full HD, and then some of it's done in the how you would have seen it back in the 80s.
So soundtrack, but I think going into it, because I knew at the time period, it was like, oh, you got to. Yeah. And I'm glad they did.
But then what some shows do sometimes, and I know some of it's budget and all that, is they'll use like 80s sounds, like 80s sounding music, but not, This is an excellent soundtrack. Sadly, I haven't found a place where you can actually purchase the soundtrack. So for my own personal collection,
you have to actually
downloaded each song separately, and it was a labor of love, but I got 23 songs out of it, and it's worth it. Because I will just sit there and listen to the music from it. So
good.
Yeah.
There was another movie that came out recently called Baby Driver that was heavily influenced by a soundtrack.
Okay.
And just because we're on the subject of soundtracks, it was interesting because not that every pop culture music is always North American. Right. But Edgar Wright wrote and directed that movie. He's English, of course.
Yeah. We don't blame him for it.
It was kind of interesting to see his take on like a good soundtrack because he was picking songs. If you wanted like a soundtrack full of songs that slip under the crack, look up that soundtrack. Okay. I will say I didn't know a lot of songs. I knew the artists, but some of the songs were kind of new to me, or it was a lot of it's.
So you had like a Guardians 2 moment there where it's like, oh, that's who sings that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was an interesting one, though. Okay. And, well, based on the action of the movie and where the song took place, now I know that song. Yeah. So, works out.
So, so check out both these soundtracks, because I know you can go to, like, YouTube and
find
Glow playlists.
I know Glow will be a lot more friendly to the ears. Yeah. You're gonna hear Glow do a lot more songs you're gonna, bop to. Right, yeah. Yeah, it's definitely more Baby Driver has those. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, Glow you can listen to. Someone could start playing the Glow soundtrack for you, and you have never seen the show, and you would still really enjoy it. Exactly. Where, you might need the connections with Baby Driver. Yeah. Yeah.
But other than that, I haven't watched it twice. I might wait to show someone.
Yeah. That's why I'm waiting for. My first viewing was by myself. The second viewing was with Mrs. the Beard. And I do want to watch it a third time, but I think it...
Not with Baby Beard.
I might kidnap... Well, only because of that... Maybe I, close her eyes during that first episode, because, the wrestling and stuff, we don't really guard her from fake violence, because we want her to understand this is a show, this is a movie.
Well, the great thing also about the show is, they don't just do it. They are learning how to be safe.
Yeah, and they show you a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff that some people don't know about wrestling. Because wrestling is not real people. We're talking about the fake stuff. Yes. Yeah. So, but yeah, I would let Baby Beard watch it. I would be like, don't repeat that. Don't repeat that. Don't try that.
So pretty much, don't repeat anything Mark Maron's.
Yeah, no, that's again. I don't think Mark Maron had a script. I think they just said,
And that's just in general, not just the show. Anything.
Yeah. Anytime you see him, don't repeat what he says.
Yes, not until you're older.
Yeah, not until you're older and grow a good mustache.
Then you can be Mark Maron all you want.
Exactly. So, and I want to make that Baby Beard's goal right there is to grow a good mustache.
Like Mark Maron.
Right.
Mark Maron doesn't have a beard, does he?
He does in the fourth season, either third or fourth season of Marin.
But he's predominantly the mustache.
It's
guy.
predominantly mustache, and occasionally 5 o'clock shadow.
So you're good with mustaches.
Oh yeah. But see, the difference between a mustache and a beard is I'm pickier about a mustache. This is why I don't, go around with a mustache a lot, because it has to be done just right. You have to be, your Mark Marins, your Nick Offerman. Sam Elliott has like the gold standard for mustache. The Jamie from MythBusters, he has his own that Walrus thing, but a mustache can be done wrong so easily. And I've tried it, and I can kind of do a mustache, but I'm not proud of my mustache.
Not like your beard.
Not like my beard. No, my beard I take pride in.
You concede on the mustache.
I concede on the mustache, yeah.
I never thought of it that way.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's all different. And soul patch never works. Just soul patch by itself. No. I mean, maybe if you're...
Well, I'm under the impression if you have a soul patch, you are a dick.
Yeah. And probably a bass player for a band that covers funk songs, and you're whiter than paper.
And you're a dick.
Yeah. And you're trying to steal my girlfriend.
Yes. But that's really it. That concludes another year for us, I guess.
Yeah, well, another season at least.
Another season?
Yeah.
I don't know
how it is.
We just do these.
Yeah, and we thank you all for listening. We're going to start back.
Actually, no, really, because I actually took a listen to our recent episode and saw there are more than 12 people at least listening.
Yeah, no.
So really, we're not just saying that to be obligatory. It's actually, thanks.
And I definitely want to give another special shout out to people like Blame Your Brother who are helping promote us. So I want to throw it back to them and help promote them. So go check out bybpod.com and go hear their stuff, because they ramble on about things in a similar way that we do. They're not as family friendly as we are, but I don't hold that against them. They're also from Tennessee, so.
Well, my first venture ever, it wasn't a live podcast, but it was like a pilot.
Okay.
I tried to be, maybe a little like that, a little bit like, Kev's podcast.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't my flavor. Granted, I wasn't with the best people, so that's probably why it didn't work out.
Yeah.
But I find this to be a lot more fun.
Yeah, all of my failed podcasts have been solo, so I can definitely understand that.
And it also becomes more creative when we can't say certain things.
Right, yeah, you have to...
It's actually kind of fun.
It forces your brain to think and reword things.
Yep.
So we look forward to seeing you guys next season. I've had a few suggestions for show ideas from our listeners, so me and TeeVo will think about those.
And don't worry, we are complex people.
Yeah.
We got a lot we can share about ourselves.
We got a lot to talk about before the new seasons of our shows start. But then once they start, we will be back in the comic book,
back to the classics.
TV show,
back to the classic form.
Yep, back to the reason you started listening to us in the first place.
Maybe, or maybe you like what we've been doing.
Yeah, maybe this is your first episode.
I don't know.
Yeah, so to that,
maybe by then they're going to be like, "Geez, they keep talking about these shows. When are they going to talk about themselves?
When are they going to talk about Glow again? Come on.
When are they going to talk about Phil Collins?"
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe by October I can get TeeVo to watch Stranger Things. Now that you're watching a Netflix show and enjoyed it.
Whoa,
pushing it. We'll see. We'll see when October comes around. That's season 2 is not till October 27th. So.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah. If so, it'll be brought to you by Eggos. TeeVo doesn't get that.
I do.
Oh.
If it wasn't
for pop culture.
I was going to say, what for pop culture? Yeah. You would have got me, but...
Or pop figures.
That's so true also, but, don't forget, even though I don't watch a lot of things, I do dip my toes and fingers in many things just to make sure I get references.
Yeah. So, but until next week and next season,
boom.
Bye.
And that's it for this week, folks. Thank you again for listening. And remember, you can follow us on social media. We are on Tumblr, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. All you've got to do is go to one of those sites, type in And the Beard. That's ANDTHEBEARD, and you're sure to find us. We hope to see you there. Have a great week.